Hello everybody, I am Angry Bird. Welcome back to a new cast of Steel Division 2, Steel Division League. Up today we have two Group 1 players, US Prestor John up against Herr Robert. And this is going to be an interesting game. I like both of these two players, so well, I like all players. But yeah, this is I'm sure this will be a great game. So on the left hand side in blue we have USMC Prestor John playing Group Hartnick on Balanced Income, and on the right hand side in red we have Herr Robert playing 44th Guard Stroke OV on Vanguard Income. Let's have a look at US Prestor John's deck. So he has been tinkering with trying to play Juggernaut decks, and actually I would point out this is this was played prior to the release of Fate of Finland. Okay, so this patch is prior to Fate of Finland. So US Prestor John, as I say, he was toying around with Vanguard. We'll see whether he starts to try and you know, use the V for Victory income once the Fate of Finland patch, you know, once they start playing competitive games on that patch. Be interesting to see whether he tries and picks that up, because he has experimented with Juggernaut income. It hasn't been successful, so we see whether that will help him. But in terms of his Group of Hartnick deck, he has a I would say he has a lot of infantry. I think once you go over 100 units of infantry, you have a lot of infantry. US Prestor John has a lot, but it's, you know, some decks, especially once we get into Fate of Finland, you can be talking 170, 180 units of infantry. So it's not like... It's a lot of infantry, but it's not like completely the biggest late game deck you've ever seen. His actual late game infantry, if we look at the Reiter Jaeger and the Jaeger Pioneer, they're both less than 20 units each. Whereas you get something like a Strelke on Sea Phase and you've got 27 units of infantry there. So I think a Group of Hartnick, they have some great quality infantry, especially the Hungarian infantry, the Huzarok and the Huzar. I can't quite read the name there. I think it's the Huzar Gora Sorashok. So, you know, he will have a lot of infantry, and I think he will have more than Herr Robert. We'll find out in a moment. Other interesting units, we've got the VK901s, who are great little recon units, and that's why that's the only one being taken, because they are worthwhile. They've got the autocannons, and the autocannons are still strong. In Steel Division 2, they are still strong. You see a lot less of them, but they are still strong. We've got the Tigers, so he's got 8 in C, he's got 4 in B and 1 in A, so that's what, 8. 13 Tigers total, supplementing with Sea Phase card of Stuck 3Gs, a Sea Phase card of Jagdpanzer 38T, so he's got a lot of armoured vehicles in Sea Phase, more so than his infantry, so a lot of armoured vehicles. And look at his artillery tab, the Bayo Kubel in A Phase, and then 2 cards of off-map airplanes. So yeah, and a lot of planes below there as well. Hell of a lot of planes. Let's have a look at Herr Robert's deck. Actually, just briefly going back to US Prestor John, his anti-air tab is fairly weak. So he has 2 SDKF 7-1s, and he does have a lot of fighters, but he's going to have to use those fighters. If Herr Robert manages to shoot down some of those fighters, you know, his sort of anti-air presence could be fairly weak. Right, let's have a look at Herr Robert now. So, in terms of infantry, yeah, he has 99 infantry units. This is a Vanguard deck. Herr Robert, however, saying it's a Vanguard deck, Herr Robert does tend to build, you know, for the late game as well. He isn't like Nilla, who would build a Vanguard deck in pretty much literally everything in A Phase. Maybe a couple of units in B Phase and nothing in C Phase. Herr Robert does still build for the late game. And you can see that with the 99 infantry units, despite the fact that, you know, US Prestor John had a balanced income. I think he's only got about 20 more infantry units than Herr Robert. So there is that. There's a C-Face card of T-34-85, along with a C-Face double vet card of M42 45 mils. Interesting choice of that card there. I'm just imagining there's not enough AT picks for Herr Robert to choose. He does have a lot of artillery. The game is going. We're going to jump in very, very quickly. I just also want to point out the 85, the Xenot 85 mils. They can also act as anti-tank emplacements. He's got 1 in A and 2 in B. He doesn't have too much of an air force, so what I was saying earlier about the anti-air probably won't come into play. But the game is underway. We will jump in and we will join the action. On the left hand side in blue we have US Prestor John playing Group Hartnick on balanced income. Looks like he's punching into the middle area. On the right hand side in red we have Herr Robert playing the 44th Guards on Vanguard income, and some early artillery shots coming in from Herr Robert, but this time not excuse me. Wow, unloads of all the infantry there. I think US Prestor John is going to win this out. He has more in the area. The Stoss Troop are going to win it out for them, and yes, they do. The Stoss Troop have the Molotov cocktails, and Molotov cocktails are very powerful. Very powerful. Herr Robert pulling back his GV Komrotti, does not want to lose that. He has lost his initial force, but does have Sapri and Tanko Disaniki backing him up. Wow, look at this PTRS 41 from Herr Robert, pushing all the way forwards. It'd be interesting whether that can take out the VK901, but I think he's, out of range. MC Prestor John just engages out of that range, and he will take down that unit easily. Herr Robert also bringing from the PTRS 41 into the center, but neither of them are capturing the territory because the PTRS squads don't capture enemy territory. Down in the south, it looks like Prestor John engaging with a VK901 and a T-34-42. Herr Robert has managed to get in a number of infantry units there, and I think that's because Prestor John really concentrated into the central town, but both players bringing in off maps early. Bayo Kubel with the 105mm and the DZIP KAO with 152mm. Surrenders coming down from US Prestor John as well. He's pushing into that off map, does manage to pick up, I think it was a Sapri unit in there. He's desperately pushing forwards. Will he pick up the surrender from the Jaeger Pioneer? It's right on the edge here, right on the edge. The Jaeger Pioneer still pushing forwards. Herr Robert's trying to fall these back, does pick up the surrender of the leader, and the Tanko Disaniki I think will just be out on its own, unable to get back into the city, and will go down. So Prestor John picking up decisive victories in the center, and now we look back into the southern side. The VK901 under pressure from the PTRDs, and shooter knockout. It's getting a hell of a lot of criticals. This is changing slightly in the Fate of Finland patch. I mean, I haven't played a lot, but the criticals certainly from the PTRDs are very much reduced in number, so it'll be interesting to see when we get a competitive game how that plays out. Off maps still coming down. I think this time this one's Herr Robert's off map. Wow, both players just off map central, literally off map central. Herr Robert has managed to hold the top side. I think it's Herr Robert who gets the tops. No, maybe he's captured that because Herr Robert currently is 13-11 up. I can't remember it's the northern side or the southern side that the red player starts with. But he's got both the north and the south, so he has one flag up right now. And US Prestor John is forced back in this central area. It looked like he got... Wow! Oh my days. 2 cards, 2 full units of infantry taken down by the off-map strike. Wow, that is hella harsh onto Herr Robert. Zis 3 gun engaging the Tigery Führer. That Zis 3 gun has APCR as well. So it is firing at 135mm of penetration, but, you know, over time, over distance, should I say, that will have fallen off. So probably at that distance is around the 110 mark. Oh, looks like a Sapri PPSH pushing forwards, trying to capture this flag here. Herr Robert does so, and that's a 14-10, but the Tiger survives very decently against that Zis 3 gun, and he's just gonna shoot that thing down unless Herr Robert moves it out of the way. Down goes one of the Erzatz Trooper MGs to the OB-25. Oh. Will Herr Robert reply the favour? A lot of infantry coming into this town. I don't think any was lost in transports, but off-map central. Herr Robert does have an Su-76M that he has sort of taken to using at the start of his games, which is interesting because nobody else really does this. So it's interesting to see Herr Robert with that strategy. US Prestor John in the south. I think Herr Robert's got a hell of a lot of forces down here. I imagine US Prestor John doesn't realise how much Herr Robert has down here. But he is being rather cautious, which, you know, is the right decision. It's just he probably isn't doing that on purpose, reacting to the amount. He's probably just being fairly cautious generally because he's microing up here, I imagine. But yeah, it's actually a good choice because Herr Robert has just such a huge force down in this southern area. Those VK901s, I'm kind of surprised they aren't coming into this central flag, because with the recon optics they could spot, you know, the units outside the range. That I would imagine they'll spot the PTRS-41 outside that 500 meter range. So yeah, I'm kind of surprised he's not pushed them directly into the central area. Although the OB-25, you know, that could just push out and get the kill. So maybe he's, yeah, maybe that's a wiser choice than I was first aware of. So it looks like the Tiger has dropped back. Oh, these VK901s, yeah, they are going to stay there. The M42 gun up in the north, that's being taken out by the T-34 and the Tiger E. Yeah, it does go down. Herr Robert doesn't have much in this town. One sort of medium strength Tanko Disaniki squad up against two Reiter Jaegers, and they have the 7 MP44, so this will be a big fight. One of them is pinned down. I think Herr Robert's thrown in smoke. Yeah, he's thrown in smoke, and that's probably an indicator to US Prestor John that Herr Robert's trying to protect what he has there, so he probably doesn't have a hell of a lot. Oh, look at that off-map strike! 2 units pinned down, one of them surrendered. Oh, Herr Robert saved himself with that off-map strike, and look at the absolute devastation happening down in this central city. Almost every building has been blown to smithereens, and we are 7 minutes 30 seconds into this match. Wow. So we have a Xenon 85mm on the field from Herr Robert, taking shots at the VK901, manages to fall them back. I think one of the Sapri PPSH has gone down. It was discovered and fired upon from the VK901, so that did go down. Potentially even the Erzatz MG maybe got a shot in. I'm not sure what the range is there. Yeah, 1,500 meter range. Look at these 3 MGs down here. But Herr Robert is pushing around the sides with T-34 85s. One of them is driver kill, but I think they'll deal with the 42, yep, very easily. It's all about these Jagdpanzer 38Ts. Can Prestor John, you know, hold off the T-34 85s with the Jagdpanzer 38Ts? It's going to be a very interesting engagement. Oh, Herr Robert's, he's just held off for now. It's like, who will crack first and move forwards? We have a Yak-1B coming into the north, and look at US Prestor John. He's brought in a lot of Erzatz trooping in the north, so he's kind of waited a while and built up his forces. That Yak-1B fires down onto the Reiter Jaeger MP44 there. Prestor John just managing to capture the flag. More reinforcements into that centre town. I don't think there's any more off-map strikes from either player. I imagine they've used all of their off-map strikes now. So it'll be interesting how that engagement proceeds. I think for the moment Prestor John has more in there than Herr Robert, but both sides are reinforcing. Robert does bring in 2 Guardia DPs and should, yeah, definitely should take care of that Reiter Jaeger MP44. Ooh, the VK901 might get involved though. At that distance, Herr Robert pushing forwards. I think he should just concentrate on holding that flag now. Right, down in the southern side, looks like Herr Robert is making a push over the southern ground. The Jagdpanzer still aren't involved yet, which I'm kind of surprised about. I'm kind of surprised Prestor John hasn't pressed them into action, because his infantry at the moment is certainly lacking that fire support. And it's just being teared to bits by the T-34s down in this southern approach. So I think Herr Robert is going to win out in this position, and Prestor John definitely needs to provide some reinforcements. Another Jagdpanzer coming down. I mean, he'll match them numbers for numbers, but it's no guarantee who's going to win this one out. Both sides can penetrate the other. I think the T-34-85s have it over the Jagdpanzer. The Jagdpanzer definitely has it over the T-34-76 for sure. But yeah, I think the T-34-85s, you know, Robert could always bring in 3 more T-34-76ers, and that might tip the balance, you know, squarely in his favour. We'll have to keep our eyes on that. But it looks like US Prestor John engaging in an ersatz troop and push over the northern side. His Reiter Jaegers did go down, but the Guardia DPs have as well. And those ersatz troopers, I'm sure, will push up and pick up a surrender unless the VK901 does take them out. There's a Tanko Disaniki in there that will do a hell of a lot of damage, but I still think, you know, I still think they'll lose out, but don't underestimate how much damage this Tanko Disaniki squad is going to do. Down goes an ersatz trooping squad, 5 men lost. All of these engaging now. I think, yeah, down here the Tankos are engaging down in the southern area. They are slowly getting picked off, but you can see, you know, all of these ersatz trooping are losing soldiers. The Ogdamachiki will go down fairly easily now. Those Tanko Disaniki squads have gone. Maybe not quite so much damage that I was expecting, but certainly a hell of a lot of damage. In comes Herr Robert with the Yak 1B, just not in time. Just not in time, but that would have, I think, really saved. Like, if that had come in moments earlier, you know, 20 seconds earlier, all of those units would have been falling back, and I think those Tanko Disaniki would have, you know, killed a hell of a lot more units. So Robert's got to be careful about this after Machiki. He's going to start moving over the open ground. Oh, yes, he does just unload them in time. Looks like another off-map is coming in. Yeah, it's here, Robert here. He has brought in his second 152 mil, but it looks like US Prestor John is straight on it as well with the Bayo FI 156C. Both these players have a hell of a lot of off-map in their decks. Down in the south, it looks like the infantry has gone down from here, Robert, but he is advancing forwards with his tanks. Does need to bring in some reinforcing infantry down here, though, because the tanks cannot hold the ground. They will take the ground, but they cannot hold the ground. The infantry is king at holding ground. But the T-34-85 and the 76ers are taking shots at those Reiter Jaeger, and you don't want to use those Reiter Jaeger, you know, you don't want to leave them out in the open. I know US Prestor John clearly isn't leaving them out in the open, but I'm trying to build suspense here. You don't want to lose these Reiter Jaegers. They're really good squads. So you want to use them in infantry combat, and if you lose them in infantry combat, well, that's what they were there to do their job. And, you know, they will have taken down a hell of a lot of units in their path. Now, the tanks push through up against the Jagdpanzer 38T. He needs to engage with all of them, though, because, oh, yep, down goes one. No tanks lost from here, Robert, so definitely big advantage at the moment, but there's a Tiger E making its way onto the hill to pick up sort of an overwatch position. I like the choice of that. I like the choice of that. You know, that Tiger can just take shots from a very long way back, and none of these T-34-76s can penetrate that Tiger at that distance. You know, it has to be the T-34-85s, but even at that distance, I don't think they will penetrate the Tiger. Whereas the Tiger E, with that huge 88mm AP cannon, will penetrate all of these tanks down there. So very good choice from Prestor John, and he completely delays the advance from here, Robert, in that southern side. back up to the north. The Urzats have pushed all the way through the forest, but there's an Aftermachikian unit in there and another Ognamachiki, and I think Herr Robert will hold on to that forest position. Oh, down goes the Yak 7B. I think it was trying to take out the Bayo FI 156C there, but didn't manage it. The SDKF 71 did take it down, and this is pre-Fate of Finland patch, remember. Those SDKF 71s are very strong units. In comes reinforcing Sapari and Aftermachiki. They are definitely going to take care of that northern forest. Down goes a VK901. Not quite sure exactly what took that out. I think it was this T-3485. Yes, down here. Did take that down, that VK901. This is a very tight game so far. Herr Robert's still got a 1311. I think he's had it for some time. Because he's worn down US Prestor John a long way. And... yeah, Herr Robert will pick up the victory in 20 minutes time, so just has to kind of concentrate on holding the flags that he's got. I mean, US Prestor John definitely could target this central position, although the Xenar 85mm, Herr Robert's pushed it up, and that's, you know, really covering a hell of a lot of ground now, so US Prestor John probably needs some artillery in to start hitting that. In fact, let's have a quick look at US Prestor John's artillery tab, because I didn't notice whether he was taking... No, he wasn't. He didn't take the mortar heart. He doesn't have any standard artillery. He has no standard artillery, so that Xenar 85mm will really really dominate, because its main counter is standard tube artillery, just pounding it. And Hartnett get access to, you know, they certainly get access to the mortar half tracks, which are fantastic units. So very surprised that US Prestor John at least didn't bring in, you know, a card of mortar half tracks. Looks like, oh, Tiger engaging T-3485. Yeah, I think Herr Robert's right to back off at that point. The distance, wow, just look at the off-map strikes. Just look at the number of artillery strikes down here. But going back to what I was saying, the kind of the distance between the engagement definitely favours the Tiger in this instance. The T-3485, fantastic tank, but we'll want to get a little bit closer than that Tiger. The Tiger has the advantage at range. Ooh, but he's bringing this tank right down onto the main road, and there is a Jagdpanzer 38T there as well. Robert's got to be a little bit careful here. His infantry is very weak in this centre town. Although Prestor John's concentrating more on the northern area. He has the Stosstroop in now, but this whole push, I don't... Oh, what a strike! What a strike! Herr Robert should counterattack straight after this. That is devastating. That is devastating. Lovely timing. What a lovely timed strike. And all of them... These Stosstroop are... Yeah. The satchel charge took him out from the Sapari. And US Prestor John... Luckily his Stosstroop survives reasonably well. But... Herr Robert's going to win this position. There's no doubt about it. He's going to win that position. Oh, but what we have seen is Prestor John push forwards with the Huzaroks and the Pioneers. He's picked up a flag. It's back to 12-12. The Reiterjäger are pushing forwards. Oh, there's only 3 men. The Aftermachiki should take them out. The Aftermachiki should win this one out. They get first shot. Wow. Decimated. Didn't even lose a soldier. Did not even lose a soldier. T-3442 pushing forwards. Herr Robert's kind of penned back by the Jagdpanzer and the Tiger here. So nice, you know, positioning of units. The Su-76M is out of smoke, but it still has some, well, it's basically out of HE shells as well. Ooh, Prestor John pushing forwards with a VK901, trying to get into a position to provide fire support onto the Guardia. Ooh, looks like the T-3485 is coming around. It's going to start engaging the Tiger. Yes. Here we have a battle. The Tiger hits the crew panic. And that just shows the range. The Tiger definitely at the advantage at that long 2 kilometer range distance. Takes another shot and down goes that T-34-85. Yeah, about 1,600 to 1,800 meter engagement there, and Herr Robert definitely was at the disadvantage and lost that one. Down in the southern side, we've been away for a little period of time. The T-34-85 has had its tracks broken, but I think another, Jagdpanzer has gone down just here. So one of the Jagdpanzers went down in reply. Herr Robert's definitely got a nice position down here, but it's how he builds upon that. Where does he go? Because to push forward into this flag, he still has a lot in his way. So I think he just needs to continue the defense in this area. He does just lose that flag in the center. If he can push forward to Sapri PPSH, I think he has the ability to hold that central position. And then if he can retake this flag, I think that's all he needs to do. Look at these after Machiki here. They're so close. The Huzaroks are going to engage 16-man squads. Wow, immediately down to 12, 11, 10. 8, 7 men. So, wow. Those after Machiki took down 9 men from that Huzaroks for 5 men lost. And they were 2 to 1 against there. But US Prestor John, you know, takes them out as well, picks up another flag. He's now up with a 13-11. Down comes the off-map from Herr Robert. Just wow, the devastation. We're going to leave that for a moment. It looks like Prestor John's just trying to keep this Zenot 85 mil just constantly suppressed, and he's now engaging with the Tiger E. Very interesting how he's done that. Herr Robert's brought in a Zenot 87, sorry, a Zenot 37 to try and, you know, help him out. Because, yeah, Prestor John's, he's managed to get it suppressed, and now he's just keeping it suppressed with just constant air strafes. And I think that unit is going to go down. It's down to 3 men. I think that one is going to go down. That's definitely going to help US Prestor John, because that was dominating this central ground. And US Prestor John picks up the flag thanks to that action. It does bring in an M30 122mm, and that can definitely take out that Tiger. Oh, the fighter's almost taken him out. Another PTRS 41 coming up here. I'm kind of a bit surprised by the choice to bring in 2. Back up to the northern area, Herr Robert still has this very northern town. US Prestor John hasn't pushed in there. There is a nice M42 gun in an excellent position to hold off the, a main advance. I think actually at this point, Prestor John would be best just to take his infantry right up the edge. Or just push forwards with infantry. But we do have another off-map plane in the air. Just wow, just look at the devastation. Look at the just pure devastation in this town. Man, they are brave Huzaroks and Jaeger Pioneers to be in there in that position. And then the 2 back here just holding the only houses that remain standing. So Herr Robert has lost this northern forest area. I think clearly, Prestor John is putting reinforcements in. He's focusing on that engagement. Actually, if he can get through an AT gun, if he can hold that forest and get through an AT gun into that kind of position, it will fire on the reinforcement road. So interesting that he's doing that. The DZIP KOs, Herr Robert's pushing them up, and this one's out in the open, which is really strange. I'm imagining that must have used all its off-map uses. Interesting that's happening. I think Herr Robert's trying to protect his infantry from the fire of the Tigers. But yeah. Strange one, that. Strange one. I think that's what he's doing with those DZIPs, although this one he's now backing away, so I think he's now realised that's in real jeopardy. And it does go down. I don't know whether that had charges left in it, more artillery off-map users. But Herr Robert's in a difficult position right now. We're down to 12-12, but Prestor John has managed to really get a grip on this centre area of the map. Robert does pick up this central spot, but I mean, that is a weak hold on that area. One sort of tiger coming into sort of maybe this position here, and he can definitely hold that with, you know, with a, he doesn't really have a recon unit. He has the VK901, which is why he's bringing that in, I think, to use that as, you know, use it with as much recon as possible, but he doesn't really have a standard infantry recon unit. So I think he's struggling to spot these. So yeah, he does now spot the Sapri PPSH, which is why the two Ersatz MGs have opened up, but he can't spot the PTRSs that are in here. Oh, look at this M30 122 mil. It's firing right the way northwards into this town. Just more artillery. Buy more artillery, guys, please. Buy more artillery. So, Robert, he's brought in more infantry. I think he's going to try and bring it down on foot. Oh, we have infantry coming in from Prestor John, and I wonder whether he's trying to take that northern flag now. I wonder whether that is what the infantry has been purchased to do. A Heinkel 111 H16 comes in. This is a stalemate right here. We have a stalemate on our hands. 12-12. Oh, the Heinkel does is being hit by the Xenar 85mm, but does release its bombs. Let's look at the damage. Wow. 9 soldiers gone out the Guardia DP there. 6 soldiers gone out of the Aftermachiki, and everything pinned down. Look at these 2 giant craters in here to add to all of the other craters. But I guess this is what, you know, World War II, like, places got absolutely devastated, and we can just see that here. Just imagine in real life just the amount of artillery that will have come down on this town. I mean, just look at the buildings, just devastated, shells of their former selves. US Prestor John actually pushed forwards with infantry units and lost them to a surrender, which allowed Herr Robert to pick the flag up. Herr Robert will be happy with that, no doubt. We are, you know, well into sea phase now. 27 minutes left. Oh, sorry, 27 minutes on the clock. And, you know, Prestor John has a lot of armoured vehicles at this point. So I think we're definitely going to see a lot more armoured vehicles come out into play for Prestor John. I think in terms of infantry, you know, Herr Robert didn't have that much less than Prestor John. So if Herr Robert just continues to try and take out as much infantry as possible, I think he can get through the infantry. I think it's just a case of, will he get through the Tigers? In, you know, and how effective will they be at supporting Prestor John's infantry? I mean, this Halbaka M30 is so close. Campfire AP shells though, so you know it can definitely penetrate a Tiger, which I think is why Prestor John's not pushing up. He must see that artillery gun firing, you know, straight over open ground, only, you know, 2.2 kilometers away. He must see it. The southern area is definitely very quiet. I don't think Prestor John's moved there, and Herr Robert is obviously concentrating in this northern area. He's trying to fight back. I think Herr Robert, yeah, I mean, it's 12-12 right now, so you, oh, here we go, northern attack coming in. But what I was going to say is 12-12, Herr Robert just needs to take these 2 points back, and he will have the game, whereas Prestor John still needs to make more advances. Oh, will these... Oh, okay, so the Jaeger Pioneers do unload. They will be able to take the M42 gun out with the MG42. The off-map's still coming in. Will that get shot down by these Xenarts? Yak 1B does drop its payload, I think, onto these Hussar... Yeah, onto the Hussar Gullar Soroshock. I think the off-map did get out. Yeah, those Jaeger Pioneers are pinned down. The 76ers are firing as well. Oh, and this Zenart 85mm, just look at that position, and it's still covering the road. So it can still fire. I mean, lovely positioning. Absolutely lovely positioning. In comes a Heinkel H16. He's going to hit that area. I don't think he's seen the infantry. I think he's guessing here. Because it is slightly off, but that was a mighty guess. A mighty guess from Herr Robert. Oh, the size of those. I think they're 1,000 kilogram. 1,000 kilogram? 1,000 pound bombs, I think. Oh, strafing runs onto the Zenart 85mm. All three fighters. But there is another one here to help it out. Those fighters not really going down either. So I really need to catch one of those engagements before it starts so I can see how it's working. I think if you have enough numbers, you can do it. Another Heinkel H16 coming into the centre, and I think Prestor John's just going to be constantly on the airstrikes. Hey, Robert just doesn't have enough anti-air up, you know, to counter them. Nice strikes coming in there. His anti-air, I mean, he's got a Zenart 37 down here. But let's have a look at Herr Robert's anti-air tab in his deck, and let's see. So yeah, so he had 3 Zenart 37mm. He's got a hell of a lot more of Zenart 37mm that he is not bringing out right now, because he's brought out all 3 of his 85mm. The other one did go down there. Oh wow, was it? Oh, that was a plane. That was a plane. I think it's here. Nope. There was definitely, I'm sure there was an 85mm in here somewhere that's gone down. Yeah, it was back sort of around here. Ooh, down goes one of the T-34 85s. I think it's there. That goes down. Ooh, the Halberget M30 is being hit. It is firing back at those Tigers, but it is being hit as well. But yeah, Robert, he's used all of his Zenart 85mm. So he definitely needs to bring out some 37mm. This is his last remaining 85mm. One went down in the centre as well. Ooh, in comes the ME410, and that could do a lot of damage from Prestor John. We're still at a 12-12 here. It's a stalemate, but it's, you know, it's an interesting stalemate because both sides are still attacking each other. Oh, wow. Look at that. Jaeger Pioneer. He's pushed forwards and he's surrounded the northern area. US Prestor John is going to pick up the flag. Yes, he does. 13-11 to US Prestor John. And that is exactly what he needed to do. Hey, Robert is really in a tough spot right now because yeah, US Prestor John just has a mass of units up in this northern side, and I don't know how Herr Robert's going to push down in this southern area because it's a tough ask. I mean, if he moves out of there and he loses his units, you know, he will lose that entire southern position. So I think he needs to fight back in the north. In comes still being taken down in the transports, but oh, will that go down? Oh, just in time. Those Reiterjäger will loaded just in time. Will these Tango Thessaloniki? Yes! Yes, they do take down the transport. And Robert micros them away behind the building. The Reiterjäger are still there. There is still a threat. Robert is bringing reinforcements into that northern side. He's trying to recover the position. I think US Prestor Johnny really needs to get, like, he needs to get infantry in there. He needs to really get a hold on that northern position. Because if he can hold that, I think he's got the game. Here, Robert is definitely counter-attacking in there. In comes the Heinkel H16. That's going to do a lot of damage. And I think he's just waiting for that to come in before he engages again. Let's just watch the bombs come down. Oh, both units just taken out by that airstrike. And Herr is going to have to completely push back in there now. And I think he's going to have to do it with infantry as well, because he just does not have the armor advantage right now. He is losing his tanks left, right and centre. The Hussar Golosorashok have found the Aftermachiki. Oh, down goes the T-34-85 to the Tiger down here. Looks like, yeah, the Aftermachiki are going to go down now. The others have come into play, although the Xenor 85 will taking shots as well. But the units there. Oh, down goes the Tiger to the Haubaka M30. I think it's a Haubaka. M30, 122mm. The Aftermachiki do survive. And, wow. I don't think they're going to survive another push in there. In the north, the Guardia DPs are engaging with the Sapere. We've got a lone T-34-76 trying to get in there. And actually, it will make it. The Stug 3G is not in the best position to support that. Looks like a Yak-1B was coming down with the fighter bombing loadout. Down goes the artillery piece that was in here. Another M30. Roberts repositioning his tank forces. So I think he is low on tanks. He has lost a lot of tanks. It feels like Roberts lost a hell of a lot of tanks. But there is a loose foothold over this flag here. If those Hussar Golosorashok do go down, I mean, it's going to be tight between who holds the flag. Because of this group of units up here, I think US Prestor John will still hold the flag. But Robert, you know, I think he can take back this northern flag and bring it back to a 12-12. Very tight game. Very, very tight game. And Herobert, I think, is in full, like... What's the word? He is in full conservation mode right now. He's trying to conserve as many forces as possible. He knows this is going long. By the way, that US Prestor John, he's kind of got himself at 13-11. He's not pushed forwards. He's now using all of his airstrikes. So US Prestor John definitely looks like the kind of player that picks up the 13-11 and then just plays the long game. Holds that 13-11 just as long as possible. And then if he loses it, you know, he tries to pick up the 13-11 again and just hold the 13-11. Which is a tactic in itself, you know. It produces long games, but it is a tactic. Here, Robert's forces are pinned down after the airstrike. Yeah, he needs to get them out of there. He's going to lose this position. And actually, US Prestor John attacking down south. Finally pushing forwards with his forces down here. And it looks like Robert's just moved 2 tanks out of the way. Robert's going to have to bring in some reinforcements down here because he looked like he had a strong hold over this position, but that airstrike, you know, it battered down the Aftermachiki that were in here, and the Hungarian Huzarok infantry. You know, they are picking up the position, and they are going to pick up the flag. T-34-76s are coming in to engage. And actually, none of Prestor John's tanks have a line of sight. So that T-34-76 will be able to... oh yeah, US Prestor John has picked up the flag. So it's kind of like, how does Herr Robert react right now? What does he decide to do? It's 14-10 to US Prestor John. He's got 25 minutes to hold on to this game. But it looks like Herr Robert has invested in this northern side. And I think he'll take back this flag. In comes an ME-410. I think it's trying to hit the 76. Down goes the 76. Herr Robert rightly bringing in the Xenor 37mm now. I think Herr Robert can take back that northern flag. He's just got to get over the gap. He's just got to get over the open ground here and into the city. And I think it's just about an all-in-one charge. And I think he definitely needs to do it now, because look at this. And Herr Robert will be able to see this. 2 off-map planes heading in that direction. Now, you know, you can bet that both of those strikes are coming down onto this forest. So Robert needs to make his move. And I think he's waited. I think he's waited too long here. I think he should have taken his infantry across, because I think he's going to lose it. I think he's going to lose it to those off-map strikes. Down in the southern side, it looks like Robert has just managed to hold on to that flag with the Ognamachiki, but that is the tightest of holds. And still in this central ground, US Prestor John is giving this centre ground away. You know, I think he should just push an infantry unit up, push a 16-man Huzarok squad up, and it will slowly reveal units. But he's not doing that. Yeah, here comes the off maps. Wow. Prestor John pinning down his own men. Yep, down go the 2 infantry units. Another one, the Sappery, is about to go down as well. Yep, that one goes down. Will one unit survive? It looks like one Guardia DP unit has survived. Ooh, the T-3476ers pushing forwards. Ooh, and the artillery strike coming at exactly the right time to stun up that Huzarok. The pushing back again. I think he realised those Huzaroks were coming in for a strike, and Robert got scared, so he's pushing them back. But he's pushing them back just to hold maintain hold of the flag. It's very intelligent play. Very intelligent play. Oof, but a gun jam comes down from the Jagdpanzer 38T and the one very much in the rear as well. So now Robert takes them off the road. And the 85 gets a spalling. At that kind of distance. Oh, in comes a 410. Don't think he quite had the right target there, because I'm sure he called that in before Robert moved his units. Oh, in comes a Yak 1B. Will it shoot down that 410? I think it's getting on the rear. Yes. Surely that unit's going down. Yes, it does. Down it goes. Down goes one of the AT planes. And does US Prestor John have another one of those planes in his deck? Let's have a look. Yeah, he has. Yeah, he has quite a few. I've only seen one of them. I mean, he may have been supplementing them at the time, but he has 5 in total of those ME410s. So, yeah, US Prestor John definitely has more of those ME410s. Oh, Robert, he's pushing forwards again. I think he's going to capture this flag here. Oh, it's so close. I'm surprised he didn't run his vehicle all the way up, but the Stugs are there now. Oh my, this is very close. Robert, there was a Gorosaurus, I think, in there with 4 men. It looks like Robert's managed to take them down with the infantry. Here comes the M30 firing the... Oh, does take down the Tiger. This thing does have heat shells that can, you know, fire at 160 penetration at all ranges. So this is a bit of a beast, this M30, you know, artillery unit. In comes more off maps. Although the Yak 7Bs have been scrambled, and they're going to try and shoot down these off maps. Oh, one of them goes down, but he does lose a Yak 7B to the SDKFZ 7-1. The other one did back away. Wow, US Prestor John has put a hell of a lot of infantry into this town. Doesn't want to lose this town, but he has lost the northern part of it. Back to a 12-12. We are 43 minutes into this game. Another ME410 coming in, trying to hit these tanks. Crew knockout, incendiary. It doesn't get the kill. Oh, and the infantry were pushing forwards, probably for trying to get a surrender, but I think the artillery hit them there. Very tight. This game is so tight. The right Jaeger are pushing forwards, but they have no anti-tank on them, which is kind of strange that he's making that move with the right Jaeger and not with the Huzarok. And now he's going to move him with the Huzarok. Oh, they get surrendered. That's a big loss of a right Jaeger unit. Yeah, I think that was a bad mistake from Prestor John there. Yeah, now the Huzaroks move forwards. He knows where that tank is, so now they're going to go in for the AT grenade kill. Gun jam, crew killed and surrendered. So we still have T-34-85s in this northern area. We have quite a few of them. I think some of the Tigers have gone down. Definitely. Wow, yeah, more Stugs coming in. Wow, look at this airstrike coming in from Prestor John. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Heinkel 111 H-16s. Just unbelievable. Just flying forwards, trying to get this airstrike. Look at all the bombs dropping. Wow. More bombs dropping. Oh, the flak is coming in now. Down goes an infantry unit. They're over the target. Engine damaged. There goes the bombs. Bombs released. But I don't think he's going to hit because we had retreats. Yeah, just bombing the general forest. Wow. And Prestor John is pushing forwards in the south now. Picks up the flag. Up to a 1410. 1410 is like the most someone's had in this game. 20 minutes left on the clock to defeat Herr Robert. We are 45 minutes into this game. If this had a 50-minute timer right now on this game, it would be really tight as to who would win. Because there'd be 4 minutes left. I think Herr Robert would still win this game with like a 50-minute timer. It would be so tight. But we don't have a timer. We have unlimited time. And let's not have another 2 hour... Saying that though, let's not have a 2-hour game, please, guys. Yeah. I don't think I've got time for that. So it looks like the ME-410 came in with another strike again. These have been fairly unsuccessful, but Robert's definitely not been shooting down. Oh, as I say that, I think the 37mm just managed to shoot down that 410, which must have been like right on the edge of its range at that point. Oh, where is Herr Robert going to come back? He's managed to get it back to 1311, which I think is this flag here. And he's almost got this flag. He's so close to picking up that flag. If these Urzat Struppen weren't there, I think he'd have that flag. But he's maintained control of the centre ground. I think this has been a mistake for Prestor John throughout the game. Not to, you know... He's not really even tried to get this centre flag back. The Stugs have come around the south. And US Prestor John definitely looks like he's got the hold on this southern flag now. Doesn't need to push beyond that. He will just hold at the 1311. Those Stugs could be easily taken at short range though, but I still think he's got the infantry advantage down in the southern side. I think Herr Robert, if he's going to make it back, I think he's going to take this flag here up and possibly this flag right in the north as well. I mean, he's constantly shelling this flag, but he doesn't realise nothing's there. But this is the problem with the flag system, right? I don't... Wow, look at these 3 Stugs down here, just moving forwards. Herr Robert's going to unload, yeah, surely. Yeah, it does unload the M30. The Stugs are going to start firing on the... Yeah, on the... wow! Down goes the supply vehicle. Ooh! As a result of that, the explosion from the supply vehicle did pin down the M30, but why are they not firing on it? Maybe Prestor John doesn't see that M30. Maybe those Stugs can't see it. I think he now does see it because it's moving. He's now, you know, Robert, you know, fell it back. So the movement caused the Stugs to see it. But while that's happening, I just want to explain why people don't like the flag system compared to the previous frontline system. Okay, Because in the front line system, on the flag system, all you have to do is hold the flag right now. So look how close that hold is. So Herr Robert knows that US Prestor John has that flag. So all he has to do is shell the area. And eventually, if there's a unit here, it will get lost. And then Herr Robert will pick up the flag. That's kind of why people don't like it. Why I don't like it so much. Whereas if it's a front line system, you know, yes, Herr Robert will know that the front line's protruding here. But you won't know exactly, you know, exactly where the units are that are pushing forwards this front line. You can make a guess based on these infantry that there's units, you know, where they are, but for, you know, Herr Robert doesn't know what's there. And similarly, Prestor John, there's no way he knows what's in here. So, you know, he could try and arty this whole area, but I'm making a hash at trying to explain this. It's not so bad on the open ground flags because, you know, there could be units like these are that are really spread out. But on these close city flags, the unit that's holding that flag, especially if it's very tight and you've got units right close to the front line like Herr Robert is, they're going to be in these first set of buildings. And you know that every single time. So all you have to do is buy artillery pieces and shell that area. And eventually you'll kill their units. And if they don't do that to you, then your units are going to survive and their units are going to die and you're going to pick up the flag. That was probably a really bad explanation, but hopefully you kind of get that picture of the difference between the two systems. You know, the frontline system on its own. Because the frontline system on its own, with the front line being like this, Herr Robert doesn't exactly know where these units are. So, I mean, there could be units down here. Herr Robert doesn't know that. The front line's moving. But the units are in fact back here that are pushing the front line, these Jagdpanzers. But Herr Robert doesn't know that, so you can't arty this area. Because anything could be there. Herr Robert doesn't know what's there. But you can arty this tiny little area here, because Herr Robert will definitely think something is there holding this flag. It's not a great explanation. I'll try and explain it another time. In comes another massive airstrike. We'll follow this one in once again. Flying in formation through to the target. One force back, the other three drop their payloads. And will this one make it through as well? It's like we're looking for a bomber's sight right now. Yep, down goes the payloads. Ooh, two big units going down. Prestor John still has a 14-10 right now. 30 minutes, 51 left until the end of the game. And how is Herr Robert going to get back into this? Because I can't really see him getting back into this. I think US Prestor John has it now. And I think if he just pushed in this centre ground, that would be it. The game would be well and truly over. Picks up a 15-9 as he almost gets that flag. For a desperate moment, there was a 15-9 there. But I can't see how Herr Robert's going to get back into this game right now. I think US Prestor John has this one. This flag here is so tight as well. This one is so tight. Herr Robert, he just can't move over the open ground though. Like, he has his units here, he just can't get out into the open ground. He needs to really get back into that forest. Because if these Ersatstruppen weren't there, I reckon he would hold that flag. So yeah, he just needs to get infantry on foot into that forest, but, you know, he will probably be struggling to... Oh, finally, the middle! Finally, there's a push in the middle. Prestor John sees the PTRS squads, and down they go. Simple as that. The middle is fully in US Prestor John's hands. We have the 15-9. 6 minutes left on the clock. 16-8. And surely US Prestor John is going to pick up the victory in this match. Down goes an M42 gun. And I think he has broken the back of Herr Robert. He's finally managed it. And what has it come down to? I think those major airstrikes have been fundamental for US Prestor John. And I think Herr Robert, what could he have done differently? It's tough to say. I actually think I don't think Vanguard suited him in this deck. I mean, maybe Robert went for an early A phase win, but he never seemed, you know, convincing in the A phase. He got himself up, I think he was up on a 13-11 for a very long time. So I think, you know, maybe a different income. You know, maybe if Robert would have been on balanced income and would have built his deck a little bit longer against US Prestor John, I think he could have won it. But I just think Prestor John was able to hold on for long enough, and then his income advantage has just really, really helped him out. All of the airstrikes coming in, all of the off maps, and Robert, I think maybe there could have been a few more 37 mils, you know, on the field. Maybe, you know, one down here, you know, just behind this hill, or on the back of this, you know, somewhere, you know, on the back of this hill. I think a few more 37 mils around would have helped him, because I think he relied on 85 mils in the early part of this game, and until they got shot down, he brought in 2 37 mil, but he's got like 6 in his deck. Let's have a look. That's not right, is it? Oh, have we had that on all the time? Oh dear, I apologise if that's been on. That's probably been on for a very long time, I apologise. Right, okay, so yeah, his anti-air, he has like 9 37 mils. But he just didn't bring them out. I think we've seen 2. I think that really would have helped him out against the airstrikes. I mean, the off maps, you know, but even against the off maps as well. Here, Robert, US Prestor John's off maps. Three of his off map units, 3 of the 4 were airplanes. So more anti-air might have shot down those off maps earlier. I think that's where Herr Robert probably lost it. I think. Because his infantry just got I mean, look at the amount of stuff on this battlefield right now. Look at the amount of units. Europe's got a fair bit up here, but like, look at just the amount down in this southern area. And US Prestor John's just seeing the victory, and he is pushing forwards. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a surrender any moment now, or if Herr Robert, there's 2 minutes left on the clock, he may just push it to the end. But yeah, I think if Herr Robert had a little bit more anti-air up, he could have had a 37 mil, back behind one of these buildings, or all the way back here. Just trying to help out his 85 mils, because his 85 mils got overwhelmed by US Prestor John's fighters. They got overwhelmed, they got pinned down, and then his entire anti-air was just gone. US Prestor John, on the other hand, only had a few SDKF 7. I thought he only had a few SDKF 7-1s. That's kind of surprising, isn't it? Yeah, why has he only got 2? But we can see. Oh, that's the patch. Wow, was there a nerf? So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. SDKF says 7-1s on the field right now. But I downloaded this deck today, and obviously the deck will be on the new patch, I think. So it restricts you. So have they, SDKF says 7-1s, been nerfed from like 5 in B phase to 2? That is really strange. Either that or it's there's an issue there with the deck, but I think it's because of the patch that we're seeing. Before the patch, US Prestor John had 5 SDKF Z71s in B phase. Really? This is something to do with the patch that's caused that. Anyway, 59 minutes, 28 seconds. Congratulations to US Prestor John. Commiserations to Herr Robert. US Prestor John picks up the victory. Wow. 5,700 kills to 3,400 losses. US Prestor John did a great job. Did a great job of just, you know, over time, just killing everything. Everything. Let's have a look at the kills, at the kills for US Prestor John. We'll see what did most of the killing. So the Reiter Jaeger, you know, they're fantastic infantry, so they picked up quite a few kills. Another Reiter Jaeger squad here picking up a lot of kills. Tiger E killing 2 T-34-85s. I think this is the thing as well. The T-34-85s are very good medium tanks, and put them up against Tigers and they can do a fantastic job, but they do need to be at, you know, medium to close range. I think at full standoff 2-kilometer distance, the Tiger E will win out. And I think US Prestor John used his Tigers very well and held off at that long distance. The Hussar Gulor Soroshok picking up a few kills there. That was in the forest. And Tiger E picking up a number of kills here. Here come the airstrikes. The ME410 did pick up 2 tank kills. The Heinkel picked up 3 kills. Another 2 kills for that Heinkel there. Another 2 kills for the Heinkel. You know, the off-map didn't actually kill a lot. Another 2 kills for the Heinkel there. His Stugs, I think he used them fairly well. Look, these M30s have all gone down to vehicles. Yeah, interesting. I mean, Herobert, most of his tanks are picking up infantry kills. We've got 1 T-34-85 killing a 42, that's expected. An 85 killing a VK901, that's expected. This 76, all infantry kills. This 76 picked up a Jagdpanzer, that's nice. This one, you know, VK901, that's expected. And some infantry kills. Nice exchange with that 85s. But that's, you know, there's not too much here. The M30s that did get taken out, you know, the M30s did do a reasonable job. These were what killed most of the heavy tanks. The T-34-42, 2 Tiger E's, 2 Tiger E's here as well. Stug 3G for that one. This T-34-85, 3 stars, took out 2 Stug 3Gs and a Jagdpanzer. So, yeah, I think not many Tigers went down. Not that many Tigers went down. Well, there we have it. I think that game was... I really enjoyed that game towards the start. I think once we got into 30 minutes, it was a fairly slow finish. But, you know, not every game is intense action. I definitely think... US Prestor John did a great job there. I was worried for him at one point. He had established a very long lead, and I wasn't quite sure whether US Prestor John was going to make it back in there, but he did so, and he picked up the victory. So congratulations to US Prestor John, commiserations to Herr Robert. We'll have more matches coming up in the Steel Division League, so make sure you stay tuned to my channel for more SD2 action. Please hit the like button, hit subscribe. Check out the description for links to my Discord, Patreon, Twitter and Twitch channels. And, you know, jump in and join the conversation about this game and other games as well. Thanks very much for watching. I really hope you've enjoyed this one. I am Angry Bird. I will see you next time.